NYIT is a community service of the New York Institute of Technology.
Covering the news of Nassau and Suffolk County's Long Island News Tonight with Ken Eckhart, Carol Peck, and the award-winning LI News team.
Good evening. I'm Ken Eckhart, and here's what's happening. Battle lines are being drawn in Nassau County. Republicans have proposed new legislative districts based on the results of the 2010 census, but Democrats are fighting the changes, saying Republicans are rushing them through illegally. Zavera Titler reports.
This is a phenomenal waste of taxpayer resource.
Nassau County legislator Dave Denenberg is one of several Democrats who says he's outraged at the new redistricting plan recently passed by Nassau's Rules Committee. And Kevon Abrams says one of the proposed changes would cut the village of Hempstead into 3 districts instead of 2.
Now, most people would say, well, what's the big deal with that? Well, the fact that they're being split into 3 legislative districts means that they have to plead and make their arguments to 3 separate legislators, which at times can be very, very difficult than just making your argument, one compelling argument to one legislator.
The county charter is supposed to be adjusted every 10 years after each census. And once county lines are drawn by a redistricting committee, they're presented to a committee before the plan is passed by the legislature. However, Democrats say Republicans are rushing to change district lines for political purposes. And Democrats are accusing the GOP of redistricting the county in a roundabout way to maximize their voter strength, which they say is illegal. According to Republican Majority Leader Peter Schmidt, the Republicans are following the law. He says the principle of one person, one vote is being violated and adds it's their duty to correct it.
That the Nassau County Legislature shall adjust their district lines to reflect the current census data within 6 months of receipt of said data.
Schmidt says there are too many people in some districts, making them illegal, which must be changed. However, Democrats say the proposed changes will cost taxpayers over $2 million. A public hearing is scheduled for Monday, and the legislature is expected to vote on changes a week later. In Mineola, Savera Titler, LI News Tonight.
A taxi driver was sprayed in the face with pepper spray by a customer who police say didn't want to pay her fare. Police say a cabbie for Taxi Latino Taxi Service picked up 30-year-old Hadea Johnson of Bushwick, Queens, at a location in Westbury for a ride to Uniondale early last evening. On the way, she reportedly asked to stop at a McDonald's, and the cabbie asked her to pay before she got out of the cab. She reportedly refused. The two argued, and when the cabbie told her to get out, she sprayed him in the face with Spitfire pepper spray. The cabbie was treated for chemical burns to his face and eyes. Ask anyone, plain drinking water has a flavor, and that flavor often depends on where the water comes from. So to determine which community on Long Island has the best tasting drinking water, some residents recently took part in a taste test as part of National Drinking Water Week. Tara Evans reports.
If you've ever wondered how your drinking water measures up, you can soon find out. The Long Island Water Conference recently asked people at Farmingdale State College to help determine which water district has Long Island's best tasting water. And Mike Bufus says one of the goals is to remind people tap water is just fine to drink.
You can open up your tap and drink out of your faucet, and it's actually very safe, it's tested, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Each participant was asked to try 4 different samples in a blind taste test, where Bufus says the origins of each sample is anybody's guess.
We don't know, the pourers don't know. The water is brought to a lab. The lab actually marks the bottles and sends, the water to us. So we pour a little glass for everyone, and they taste it.
And participants can vote for their favorite. And the winners from the Long Island competition will go on to compete for the state title.
It's just bragging rights, really. Everyone wants to have the best tasting water. In the years past, Long Island has won quite a few times.
So how will Long Island measure up this year? Taste testers agree some samples were better than others, and they say some were not pleasant at all.
It was worse than taking medicine.
They all tasted a little funky, actually, I'm not going to lie. It might just be a mindset, though, just going in, tasting water, it's kind of weird.
That said, these were just 4 of over 20 samples in the running for Long Island, so there's still a shot at the title of New York's best-tasting water, which will be announced this summer. In Farmingdale, Tara Evans, LI News Tonight.
There'll probably be lots of breakfasts in bed served to mothers across Long Island this Sunday. It's Mother's Day, so florists and candy stores will probably also be seeing lots of business over the next few days. Elsa Gillis reports on why Mother's Day is so important to us.
Many would agree that being a mother can be both the most rewarding and most difficult job in the whole world. So, with Mother's Day coming up this Sunday, we talk with Long Islanders about the toughest job out there.
My life would not be where I am without my mother. She's just everything. She takes care of me. She takes care of my son. She does everything for me, everything.
It's an important job, very important job.
And while Mother's Day is all about giving back to your mom, the women we spoke with emphasized how much being a mother has given them.
No other relationship is like it. No friendship, no marriage, no boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. There's nothing that's even close to having a family, a child. It's something really, really special and really deep.
It means everything. It's my best job. It's the greatest gift that I've ever been given.
I'm here at Eisenhower Park in East Meadow with parents and grandparents and their kids playing all around me. We spoke to the moms about what they really want for Mother's Day.
For them not to fight for one day.
A homemade card, that's my favorite thing.
I just want everybody to be happy. Happy and healthy. That's the best thing in life right now.
In East Meadow, Elsa Gillis, LI News Tonight.
Well, it was a down day on Wall Street today. Dow finished the day down 139.5 points. NASDAQ was down 13.5 points, and the S&P was down 12.25 points. NYIT's LI News Tonight continues after this.
A Knit and Talk support group for women with breast cancer meets at Adelphi University's School of Social Work in Garden City on the first Monday of each month from 2:30 till 4 p.m. For more information, call 516-877-4314. The American Parkinson's Disease Association has a monthly support group at New York Institute of Technology in Old Westbury on the second Friday of the month at 2 p.m. For more information, call 516-626-6114. The Nassau County Museum of Art presents Family Sunday at the museum in Roslyn Harbor on Sunday afternoons at 1 p.m. For more information, call 516-484-9337. And the North Shore LIJ Health System offers a weekly support group for stroke survivors and caregivers at Plainview Hospital on the fourth Thursday of the month from 2 till 3 p.m. For more information, call 516-719-2411. If you have an event you'd like included on the LI News Tonight community calendar, send it to linewstonight@nyi.edu.
Press play to start your future. Learn the industry. Use the technology. Become an expert in television reporting, journalism, radio, digital film, public relations and advertising, television production, digital graphics, a beautiful state-of-the-art campus, a road to the job you've always wanted, in the media capital of the world. Communication Arts at NYIT. When can you start?
In news around the world today, Pakistan's army is ordering a reduction in the number of U.S. military personnel operating inside the country. It's an apparent protest over the commando raid that killed Osama bin Laden. The statement also says that if the United States launches a similar raid in the future, then the Army and intelligence services will review their ties with Washington. Pakistan's army has been criticized for letting the country's sovereignty be violated by the raid. But in an apparent nod to international criticism, the Pakistani army also admits to shortcomings in its intelligence on the presence of bin Laden in Pakistan. The Libyan government says a gathering of tribal chiefs in the capital of Tripoli is a sign of widespread support for Muammar Gaddafi. Foreign reporters were taken to a large tent today to attend part of the meeting. Reporters were told that about 2,000 chiefs were present, representing all of Libya's 850 tribes, and the gathering was organized by the tribes themselves. The meeting comes at a time of deepening international isolation of the regime over its harsh 11-week crackdown on an armed uprising. And a Costa Rican Red Cross official says the body of a second U.S. high school student who drowned off the country's Pacific coast has been recovered, and rescuers are still looking for another missing student. A group of 5 students from Ohio was pulled out to sea yesterday by an undertow current. 2 survived after being rescued by lifeguards. The Red Cross says 47 people drowned in the first 4 months of this year in Costa Rica's oceans, rivers, and lakes, adding many of the victims were unaware of Costa Rica's sometimes fierce ocean currents. A Long Island World War II veteran and his wife want to stay in the old family home, but his disabilities were making getting around the house almost impossible. That's when help stepped in for the war hero, as Robert Marzano reports.
This house is going under a renovation to become more handicap accessible for a World War II veteran who suffered a stroke last year. Volunteers from Rebuilding Together Long Island and Heroes at Home are helping him get around the house more efficiently and more easily.
Well, as someone who has, given so much for our country, it's nice to be able to pay back in a small way to make their life better.
Some of us who have served in the service feel that we owe our disabled veterans at least pay back a little bit because of their sacrifices.
Carlington Foster, an 84-year-old World War II Navy veteran who served in the Pacific Theater, fought battles in the Philippines, Guam, and Iwo Jima, spent the last 12 months recovering in order to come home to his family.
How do you feel about these volunteers helping you out after the ordeal that you've been through?
I think it's great. I think it's wonderful.
Foster isn't the only one who's grateful for what Homes for Heroes is doing. So is his family.
He's been telling everybody that come in here today that they giving back what I gave to them. Because when he was in World War II, he was in a lot of battles and things. But he feel good about it. He said, "I'm so glad now you helping me, and I appreciate it again."
Volunteers have helped with making the house more handicap accessible, including replacing the carpet floor with tile to improve wheelchair traction and rounding off corners for safety.
When construction is completed, the house will become more handicap accessible for Carlton to move around without any obstacles standing in his way. He will also have use of this sliding chair to travel up and down to the second floors, which he wasn't able to do before.
In Great Neck, Robert Marzano, LI News Tonight.
An elderly woman was killed when she was hit by a car while trying to cross a road in Lindenhurst. Police say 84-year-old Olga Stevens of Lindenhurst was crossing Sunrise Highway near Straight Path last night, just before 9 o'clock, when she was hit by a car driven by a 34-year-old woman. Stevens was pronounced dead at the scene. No arrest was made, and police say the investigation is continuing. Well, we had a beautiful sunny day today. A high was up around 60 degrees. Tonight should be partly cloudy with a low in the mid-40s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high up near 70. Saturday, chance of a few showers, high up near 70. Sunday, chance of a few showers with a high in the mid-60s. And the outlook for Monday, chance of a few showers, high in the mid-60s. And that's it for NYIT's LI News Tonight. I'm Ken Eckhart. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.